For more than 25 years, we have been obsessed with practical magic. For me, it all began with my mum's old DVD collection. I grew up on this movie, making cactus-shaped pancakes and eating chocolate cake for breakfast. Wishing my own witchy family could live in a house like that. So when Warner Brothers announced Practical Magic 2, safe to say we were all pretty excited. And when we heard Amazon Prime were streaming the first movie from December 30th, even though we already have the DVD, we decided it was the perfect excuse to have a Practical Magic New Year's. So come with me as we plan, prep, and party, Practical Magic style. So, planning. I mocked up this little idea board. I know I want to make chocolate tipsy cake, cactus pancakes, of course, intention bottles for New Year's, like resolutions. I want to do midnight margaritas, decorate with candles, lots and lots of candles everywhere, and stream the movie on Prime. First up, I'd like to try and make a chocolate tipsy cake. I've always loved baking. That said, it's been a long time since I've baked anything. And I'm by no means a kitchen witch. So this, and my baking process, is never perfect, but it always turns out good. This is about having fun and making memories together, not just cake. So if you spill the sugar, laugh it off. And maybe throw a little bit over your left shoulder just for good measure. If you don't spill it all first, this is what the butter and sugar should look like once it's all creamed together. This isn't a baking tutorial and I won't be applying for Bake Off anytime soon, as much as I'd love to meet Noel Fielding. But I will leave the recipes in the description if anyone does want to try it the same way I do. And if you do, let me know, I'd love to see. This has always been my go-to chocolate cake recipe, and you'd think by now I'd have gotten the hang of it. But every time I make it, it feels like the first time. Then again, I have never added rum before. Chocolate tipsy cake is mentioned so many times in Alice Hoffman's books. A recipe handed down from the aunt's Aunt Isabel. All the family make it, so it seemed a very fitting thing to add to my own family gathering. It's said to delight all who are served it, and hopefully mine will too. If this batter is anything to go by, I think we're in for a treat. I'm going to leave this to cool while we get started on the pancakes. Next up, did you ever see a sorora cactus? Well, you're about to. For this, I'm just using my good old family pancake recipe and my nana's griddle. We've had this for as long as I can remember, and it's the same one that I made pancakes on when I was little. I sift the flour, add the sugar, no spills this time, and make a little well in the middle to add the eggs and the milk to. This part can look a little weird, but trust the process and keep going. Or if you're like me, pass it over to mum. That's one thing I have loved about this process so far, is doing stuff with family. And that's something I love about practical magic too. We wanted to experiment, so we left some of the batter thick and added a little bit of milk to the rest. The first pancake is always a dud, so we didn't really try to make anything with this one. But the universe must have known what we were doing, because I swear that is a little cauldron. We thought we'd try out the little cactus mould, and it did not go well. It just got stuck in the mould and there was nothing we could do to make it work. So we gave up on that and did it the good old-fashioned way instead, which was actually a lot more fun. This is how I remember making them when I was a kid, and we could never make the perfect Gary Hallett pancake, but I'd say this isn't too bad an attempt. This smells amazing. Anytime I smell butter melting, I get waves of nostalgia. It's like I'm a kid again, sitting waiting for pancakes and syrup while I watch my mum or Nana work magic on the griddle. It really must have smelled good, because even my brother couldn't resist coming and making one too. And eventually we all got the hang of it. I even thought I would try the famous pancake flip. But we still had a few flops. That said, I am really happy with how these turned out. I don't know why, but there is just something so much more exciting about a cactus-shaped pancake than a plain old regular one. Next up, I want to plan out our New Year's intention bottles. I have these cute little glass bottles with cork lids, and we're going to fill them with herbs and flowers and stuff that represents our intentions. I'm going to use these to decorate and place little bits all around the table so people can just take what they're drawn to. I thought we could use this cute little spoon to scoop out our ingredients. We wanted to write down the meanings of all the herbs and crystals we have. So we thought we'd use my mum's ornamental spell book she's had since I was little. And lo and behold, Inside are spells I must have written when I was 7 or 8 years old. I know this because there's a clear skies spell, and at that age, I was pretty sure I could control the weather. It feels very special to write on this again after all these years. The paper is very old and thin, so I'm trying not to do too much. I'm going to keep this as minimal as possible. Now, it might not be the Owens family grimoire, but it's exactly what we need to turn our New Year's resolutions into witchy intention bottles. And now that everything is set up and prepped, we're nearly ready for the party. All that's left to do is light the candles, bring out the food, and finish off the cake. And if you're wondering what I'm doing here, maybe this will give you a clue. I know I'm a practical magic superfan, but if you get that reference, we can be friends. And then I'm going to cut everybody a slice so that we can all start the movie with chocolate tipsy cake. I got all sorts of toppings for our pancakes and served them just in time so we could eat them while we watched the practical magic pancake scene. After the movie, and feeling very witchy inspired, we sat down to create our intention bottles. With this, we want to think of an intention and add ingredients that symbolise parts of that. We each kept this quite personal, but for this video, I'll show you mine. I wrote my intention down on a small slip of paper, rolled it up and placed it in the bottle. Then I began adding my ingredients. It doesn't matter what, really. It's about what it means to you. I might use rosebuds to represent love or beauty, a quartz crystal for clarity and focus, or a rainbow crystal just because it's whimsical and makes me feel creative. It doesn't have to be all herbs and crystals. Little gold stars, to me these represent playfulness, creativity, and my inner child. I might use a little twig I found on a forest walk with my nana, because it reminds me of happy memories I'd like to make more of. I'm adding anything that makes me think of the little moments of magic and whimsy that we make for ourselves in life. Because magic isn't just spells and potions. This jar, it's just a symbol. It can't grant my wishes or change my life, but it can help me change it myself by reminding me of what I care about. It has power because I believe it does. When I look at this bottle, I feel inspired. Way more than I would just making a simple New Year's resolution. And now the time is here. We've had our movie night, our intentions are set, the candles have burnt down, and as the clock strikes 12, we cheers with our midnight margaritas. Was it a good end to 2025? I'd like to think so. There's some things though I know for certain. Always throw spilt salt over your left shoulder. Keep rosemary by your garden gate. Plant lavender for luck. And fall in love whenever you can.